The shock of the shooting in Quebec City, of course, being felt across the country, including here in Lloydminster.
Our community is deeply saddened by the incident that took place in Quebec, and we pray for those who lost their lives and their loved ones that, may God grant those people patience.
While Azim says the Muslim community here feels safe, they've increased security. He also emphasizes the need for education to stop Islamophobia.
I believe that one has to learn about the faith. When we do not know something, we are often afraid of it, may it be a religion or anything else, even an idea, So therefore, if someone gets to know Muslims, then his perception will change.
And the community will be holding prayers with their congregation for those who lost their lives later in the week. Well, a man has been arrested following an alleged shooting near a Lloydminster nightclub early Sunday morning. Police say they received numerous 911 calls around 2:30 a.m. where people informed them they had heard multiple gunshots. Mounties attended the scene where they were able to identify and apprehend the suspect. The 27-year-old man is in custody waiting for a judicial interim release hearing. He could be facing numerous charges, including careless use of a firearm. Nobody was injured and police are still investigating the situation. Well, a short council meeting at City Hall today. Among the short agenda, a proclamation declaring February Aboriginal Storytelling Month and the 2017 municipal budget. As Adam McVicker explains, there was little change in the final draft.
Well, after months of deliberation and some delay, the 2017 municipal budget has been passed by Lloydminster City Council. Of course, this process has been ongoing since October, where the first draft presented showed a $10.5 million deficit. That deficit today sits at $0. They managed to balance the budget, which they were required to by law, and administration did just that after plenty of back and forth with two separate councils. Of course, the election campaign was right in the middle of these budget proceedings, making things pretty difficult. Now, residents can expect a 4% tax increase on their bills in June. Now, some of these things could change, but it sounds like 4% is what the tax increase will be this year. Of course, council wanted to limit as much of the impact on taxpayers as they possibly could, but 4% was what was agreed upon. Now, this version of the budget also includes $5 million in new deficit reduction strategies and $4.8 million in savings since the first draft of the budget, so some more efficiencies were found in there as well. There's also a department-by-department breakdown of finances. Those were requested by council after the last budget meeting in December, and many councillors did tell me that having those breakdowns really helped them make their final decision on this budget and come up with any questions that they may have had as well during today's meeting. Now, of course, a lot of questions surrounding this budget, but we're going to have a lot more of those on Newcap News throughout the week. Reporting from City Hall, Adam McVicker, Newcap News.
A panel of local business owners from the real estate, oil field and marketing industries are optimistic about Lloydminster's economic future. Speaking to a packed room at this week's Rotary meeting, the panel outlined why they think things are looking up. Darren King says his oil field clients are expecting more activity this year, and some companies are actually experiencing a shortage of workers.
Well, as a lot of wells and things are put back into service and reactivated, service rigs are on the front of that, and there seems to be a real shortage of crews right now. And, companies would have higher utilization rates if they could find the people to work the rigs.
And according to Scott Musgrave, not all real estate markets suffered in 2016.
Commercial retail was a big bright spot. Farming was a big bright spot. So overall it was down from the years before, but those two areas were certainly up.
Musgrave adds part of the real estate market is already showing growth for this year. And the Lloydminster Rescue Squad is on a search mission for some new recruits because of the economy. The rescue squad is down members and would like a few more to start preparing for the upcoming spring season. Chief Norm Namier says that little or no experience is needed, as training for the positions can be taught by the squad.
They can take a lot of that knowledge, and if they move to another area, now you're trained, and maybe another area is looking for a volunteer. And I think that opportunity is a great thing because it can help any other community in anywhere in this province or outside the province. Maybe
Namir adds that the rescue squad is full of individuals that are dedicated to serve the community and surrounding area, making it a great atmosphere to learn in.
It's not for everybody, so it'll be for a select few that can handle some, the pressures and the stress. So come down here, we'll chat, show you some things.
So if you are at least 18 years of age, you're welcome to contact the recruiting officer, Ryan LeBlanc, and visit the Britannia Fire Hall to fill out an application. Well, it's a project that raises money to build water wells in Nicaragua. Back for its second year, the annual fundraiser was once again a success. Josh Ryan has more on One Well at a Time.
Getting the support of 100 people to help communities in Nicaragua get clean water was a pressing need for the Rotary Club this weekend.
We do lots of work in community and we have a really strong local focus, but we also do international work, and this is a great opportunity for us to support Dr. Jamal, who's actually on the ground in Nicaragua, really making a difference.
Wayside Dental's Dr. Neki Jamal is heading back to Nicaragua on February 10th, eager to provide care once again.
We're doing the dental work, and we have optometrists coming with us to help with eye care as well. So the project comes full circle for me.
His previous visit was eye-opening, not just for how great the need is, but also the impact of providing aid.
We eradicate waterborne illnesses. We totally alter the social and economic developments of communities. We improve access to education by allowing children to attend school who otherwise would have been going to get water with their mom.
Turnout for the evening was excellent, as they were able to raise more than $30,000, far surpassing expectations.
It's amazing to see that 100 people can make such a huge difference, not just within our community, but we can do something that's global.
Economically, it's a bit of a challenging time, but people seem to still recognize the need to be gracious to those who are less fortunate. So we've had fabulous cooperation.
And going forward, Jamal hopes that awareness will continue to grow.
We're making a difference, and we're just so blessed to live where we are. And at the end of the day, we're all neighbors.
Josh Ryan, Newcap News.
Well, Canada had its National Non-Smoking Week this January, prompting people to stick to their New Year's resolutions. One big day of the week is Weedless Wednesday, and in this week's edition of Retrospect, Gina Martin shows us how the tradition has lived on in Lloydminster and the rest of the country.
Every year, hundreds of Canadians try to quit smoking, but kicking the habit isn't as easy as it sounds. The moving trend in most restaurants and businesses today is to have a non-smoking environment. Though National Non-Smoking Week is underway, officials from the Canadian Cancer Society say they deal with tobacco use every day. It's the #1 killer in Canada.
Today is Weedless Wednesday. It was a day set aside for smokers to try and give up smoking for the day, possibly the week. The Canadian Cancer Society hopes this will help smokers to realize that they're hooked and that it's not that easy to quit smoking.
Research proves it's never too late to quit. It's an important step that could save your life.
Well, I think it's one of the most important things that anybody could do if they were a smoker, is to really make a resolution to quit. And I can say that because I used to be a smoker, and I know it's not easy, but particularly now when we know that smoking kills.
Officials say there are many alternatives if you wish to quit, but it's up to you to be successful.
There are many things that are helpful. The #1 is you actually have to want to quit yourself. I think not your spouse, not your children. You have to want to do it for yourself.
The desire to light up is an addiction that most people don't realize. Being able to quit is an accomplishment that many ex-smokers will always remember.
People remember the year they were born, the year they were married, and the year they quit smoking. And that's a big event in their lives.
Officials say people usually quit 5 to 10 times before they butt out for good. It's a positive step for your health and those around you. Josephine Guzzo, NewsHour.
20 years later, Weedless Wednesday is still a part of National Non-Smoking Week. In fact, the Canadian Cancer Society says they've seen enormous changes when it comes to people's smoking habits. But there is now a new issue at hand.
We have issues related to water pipe smoking. We have flavored tobacco. Alberta has made progress on that. Saskatchewan has not. We have e-cigarettes is a new issue. We have new types of tobacco promotional tactics. So we need to be continually vigilant.
The society plans to continue to drive down smoking rates in all its forms and get to an objective of 5% by 2035. That's all for Retrospect this week. I'm Gina Martin.
Holy Rosary High School held its annual senior boys and girls basketball tournament this past weekend, and the focus for both Holy Rosary teams was improving. Lance Phillips was there and shows us how they did more than just that.
1, 2, 3, Holy Rosary's weekend of basketball was a success for both teams. The senior girls were dominant en route to the tournament championship, while the boys' fast-paced play allowed them to beat Meadow Lake by nearly 30 points in their championship game.
Everyone played well. We improved every game, so that's our goal. So it was a good team win in all 3 games.
We didn't know what to expect from some of the teams here, and we played pretty quality ball throughout. You know, we played good defense throughout, and that even when our offense wasn't firing, we found a way to play good defense to keep us in games and to hold the momentum and change momentum when we needed to.
Obviously, winning the tournament was on everyone's mind, but the thought of a boys and girls sweep, well, that's something neither team saw coming.
I think it's a pretty big deal. I can't remember the last time both teams won our home tournament, and so for both teams, us going into zones is a huge confidence booster right now. Being ranked provincially for us and for the boys team going to Provs last year, it's just kind of proof that, we know what we're doing and we're willing to work hard all the time to do it.
I think it's pretty awesome because last weekend we didn't have a great weekend and we were at a 4A tournament and we didn't do so great. We didn't win a lot.
Both teams are poised to perform well at zone and a possible provincial finals. And while some think more improvement is required, others feel good about their chances right now.
I think we're feeling pretty confident about it. I think we could definitely make it to provincials.
Improving for us has always been a big deal. We work tirelessly 5 days a week for 3 hours a day. We never stop working, and it's always a goal for us to improve.
We're just gonna keep getting better from here. I mean, everybody wants to win, and I think everyone is capable of playing in a higher level.
But what you'll hear next is really what matters to these players, and it has nothing to do with winning, losing, or improving.
Watching some of the other teams play, we're like, they don't have the bonds or the connections that we do. Like, we've been playing together for I don't know how long, and that creates a bond that you can't break and just a connection between all of us.
Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.
Well, both Lakeland Rustlers volleyball teams were on court this weekend in a home-and-home against Nate. Both teams earned splits, but it was the men's side that provided a thrilling finish at home Saturday. Lance Phillips has more.
After a humbling 3-1 loss Friday in Edmonton, the Lakeland men's volleyball team retaliated, defeating Nate by the same set score in front of its home crowd. Despite having a couple of key injuries, the team was able to put together a complete effort, something it couldn't do a night earlier.
Our consistency was way better. We didn't make nearly as many errors on attack or on serve, and we made them have to play the ball. So we played one of the better matches of our season so far. So it's great to see it happening now.
So our serving was much better tonight, and last night our passing was a huge issue, and we fixed that right up. Just giving Vinny the chance to run all of his offense. He's a really good setter, and he knows where to put the ball, but if we can't get the pass up, then he's got no chance.
The win didn't come easy, like many of the matches this season, which made match point all that more intense. An emotional explosion, unlike any other match this season.
It was pretty nice, especially because it was such a close fight the entire match. I mean, in the 20s every set, and we felt like we really had to struggle every set, and to play our best for 4 full sets is something we haven't probably done this year.
You can see how invested they are in what we're trying to do and what this program's trying to build, and that was the celebration. They're just excited to get that win as a group and to continue to push for that playoff spot.
The win also proved to the players they have what it takes to compete against the ACAC's best.
We've been able to string it together, and we've been able to win sets against really good teams, but never a full performance. And I think if we play like that for a full match, then we're good enough to beat anybody.
It just shows if our guys stick to the game plan, if they push each other and they work as hard as they can every point, good things are going to happen for this group.
Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.